Okay, yes. Listen now. Take one sheet of paper also along with me. You had to write it. Better it is. Otherwise, carefully you have to see, understand completely. To start with this superposition of or superposition theorem. Superposition theorem. First, the statement. First, the statement about the superposition theorem. State and prove. There we are asking. Statement. Statement for the superposition theorem. I will consider any linear network. I will consider one network, linear network, which is containing more than one source of EMF, one battery, one EMF like that. More than one source is said to be existing, and more than one impedance is said to be existing. Impedance is present. More than one EMF or the source is said to be existing in the current loops. In the current loops. Okay, for example, let us consider one loop that I will write it, one network I will write. One network I will write. Z is the impedance. EMF is a source for the current and the voltage. So I will write like this, just you see here. This is one, what is that? Maybe a network that I am writing. Z1 is the impedance. Z1 is called by the name the impedance. Z is called by the name the impedance. Z1 is one of the impedances. One more impedance is present here. Z2. Here one more impedance is present. This is a Z3. There are three impedances are there. And here there is a source of EMF. Here there is a source of EMF. Here there is a source of one more EMF. Source of one more EMF. This EMF I will take it as E1. This EMF I will take it as E2. E1, E2. There are three impedances. There are three impedances. Z1, Z2, Z3 are the impedances. There are two sources of EMF. There are two sources of EMF. I said, statement it says that a network which is containing more than two impedances, more than one, no problem here also, more than one EMF source. So if it is a linear network, the linear network containing more than one EMF, more than one impedance here, then whatever the current it is flowing, in one of the loops, here there is a loop, here there is a loop, here there is a mesh, here also there is a mesh. I will write some current is flowing like this. I will going to consider the current is flowing like this. Whatever the current is flowing along that direction, I will take it as I1. The current coming out from E2 and it is flowing like this, I will take it as I2. This is I2. There are two loops are there. Now, the theorem it says that the current flowing in any particular circuit element, either here or here, anyone, it is equal to the algebraic summation. Current is a scalar quantity. It is an algebraic summation of the currents that would separately flow in that particular element. Means I had to remove this. Only one EMF is present. Separately the current, it has to flow, there it is. And separately here the current is flowing if I'm removing this. Then I can say this particular current is equal to, if I'm removing this one, whatever the current is flowing, if I'm removing here, whatever the current is flowing, both if you are adding, that will be equal to this current. That I had to prove it. Just carefully you see here so that you can understand the superposition theorem. If I'm writing the concept, then only you can understand what is the statement. But the statement, it says that in any linear network, if there are more than one source of EMF, if there are more than one source of EMFs and impedances, more than one impedance is present, then the current flowing in one of the loops, the current flowing in any circuit element, either here or here, no problem, is equal to the algebraic summation of the currents that would separately flow in that particular element if each source of EMF considered separately. First I will take up this one, I will write it, then I will take up this one, then I will write. So two EMFs, first I will take both the EMFs, then I will take only one EMF, I will remove this, next I will take this EMF, I will remove this, then I will start the procedure. Okay, so have understood about this concept. First you see that Z1, Z2, Z3 are the three impedances. E1 and E2 are the two sources of EMF. But if you don't know the Kirchhoff's second law, we cannot apply here. Kirchhoff's second law, you must be aware of that. Using the Kirchhoff's second law only, we have to proceed here. So here the current, whatever it is flowing, here the current flowing is equal to I1. I1 is flowing through here. I1 is flowing through here. But here I2 is flowing through here. I2 is flowing through here also. Here the current flowing is I1 plus I2. Here the current flowing is I1 plus I2. See that? I1 into Z1. Here I1 into Z3. Here if I'm considering I2, here this is I2. Here current is flowing is I2. I2 into Z2. I2 into Z3. Is it right? Carefully you have to think and you have to write. Kirchhoff's second law. Second PUC physics. Kirchhoff's second law. I know that it is required all this concept, therefore it has been already taught. All the concepts it has been taught. Based on that concept that I am taking up the derivation. Okay. Yes, first idea. What we have considered, Z1, Z2, Z3 are the three impedances. And voltage sources are E1 and E2. E1 and E2 are the voltage sources. Z1, Z2, Z3 are the impedances. They are the impedances. Okay, that's all that I explained. Okay, correct now, understood. Now I will take up the Kirchhoff's second law, Kirchhoff's voltage law. Applying Kirchhoff voltage law or Kirchhoff's second law, KVL. Kirchhoff's voltage law or second law of Kirchhoff. If I am applying here, what will happen here? How we are going to write? So according to this statement, I supposed to write one more concept, then I had to write it. Otherwise, we cannot understand. I1 is equal to how much? I2 is equal to how much? I supposed to write it here. I will write afterwards. Afterwards, I will write that superposition theorem in terms of equations. I had to write that. I had to prove it. Now I will apply the Kirchhoff's second law here and also here. I have written already the current directions. Already I have chosen. This is the current direction I1. This is the current direction I2. So let us apply one by one here. For this mesh, if I'm applying for this mesh, apply the Kirchhoff's second law. Carefully you have to listen. Here the current is flowing is I1. The current flowing is I1. I1 into Z1. Current into opposition. Current into opposition. You have to take. Current into resistance. Here current into impedance. Current into resistance. Second PUC concept. Current into resistance. Here instead of resistance, I am choosing impedance. So I1 into Z1, I1 into Z1, here I1 into Z3, I1 into Z3, this is finished. But here the current flowing is equal. Here the current flowing is equal to how much in this case? I will not going to consider here, but here the current flowing is equal to how much? That is I2 into Z3. Again, I will write, you see that. Only this mesh I will consider. Okay, applying Kirchhoff's voltage law. Okay, for your convenience, I will write like this: A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D for the mesh. A, B, C, D, A mesh. I will consider only for this. Only for this. What is the EMF here? E1. E1 is the EMF. EMF E1 is equal to here. Current into resistance, we had to select. But here, current into impedance, I had to write because E1 is the EMF, not the battery. Okay, here, I1 is the current that is flowing. Here, I1 into Z1. This is the current that is flowing through here. I1 into Z1. I1 into Z1. Here, how much is the current flowing here in this mesh, in this particular segment here? I1 also, I2 also, both are flowing here. Did you observe that? I2 is flowing here, I1 is flowing here. I1 flowing here, I2 is flowing here. Therefore, total current here it is I1 plus I2. I1 plus I2 here. Here the current flowing is equal to I1 plus I2. I1 like this, I2 like this, multiplied by Z3. Multiplied by Z3. Now expand this. I will not going to consider this. This mesh I will not consider because E1 I have written. Only for this mesh I have written. I1 into Z1 plus here the current is I1. Here the current is I2. Together it is I1 plus I2 into Z3. That's finished. Therefore, E1 is equal to I1 into Z1 plus I1 into Z3 plus I2 into Z3. Multiply it. Here, common factor, whichever it is available, I will going to consider. So, which is available? I1 and I1, it is available here. Therefore, E1 is equal to Z1 plus Z3, Z1 plus Z3 multiplied by I1. All these things you should not memorize, you should not by heart. You have to understand. We have to understand the concept. Plus Z3 into I2. They are one and the same now. Z3 into I2. I will take this one as equation number 1. I will consider this one as equation number 1. Similarly, I will write the same idea for this mesh I have written. I will write for the other mesh here. CD I have written. FG I will write here. This is one more mesh. For this mesh I have written. For this mesh separately I had to write. Now I will write for the mesh. For the mesh B, F, G, C, B. I will start with B, F, G, C, B. B, F, G, C, B. B, F, G, C, B. Start from here. Start from here. Here, current flowing is equal to how much? I2. I2 into Z2. Here the current is I1. This is I1, this is I2. I1 plus I2 into Z3. That's all. Is equal to how much? E2. So here I will not going to consider this E1. This E1 for this. This E2 for this mesh. But here the current flowing is I1. Here also it is I2. I1 plus I2 in both the meshes. So therefore for the mesh this. For this mesh here, E2 is equal to. E2 is equal to. Anyone possible to write the answer now? Equation. E2 is equal to, here it is current flowing is I2. Current flowing like this now, it is I2. I have shown the current direction also. I2 is the current flowing here. I2 into Z2. I2 into Z2. I2 multiplied by Z2. Here the current flowing is I1 like this. This is I2. I1 and I2, they added together here. I1 plus I2 added together, multiplied by this, because I1 is flowing like this, I2 is flowing like this. Total current is I1 plus I2 here. I1 is flowing like this, I2 is flowing like this. Here the total current is I1 plus I2. The total current multiplied by Z3. Total current multiplied by Z3. Again, expand this. E2 is equal to I2 Z2 plus I1 Z3, I1 into Z3 plus I2 into Z3. Clear? Here I2 is present. Here also I2 is present. I will take out I2 as the common factor. If I'm taking out I2 as the common factor here, Z2 plus Z3, Z2 plus Z3, Z2 plus Z3 multiplied by I2 plus Z3 into I1. Z3 into I1. I will take this one as equation number 2. Within this, any doubt is there? First you see that. Statement again, I will put it afterwards. Statement again, I will discuss afterwards. But Kirchhoff's second law is a basic idea, second PUC physics. Okay, that is basic. I explained that also. Before taking up this. See that equation number 1, how we got. Equation number 2, how we got. Now I will going to consider in a main circuit here. First I will take E1, I will remove E2. Next I will take E2, I will remove E1. Then we had to calculate again the currents. Again equation number 3, equation number 4, equation number 5, equation number 6. Okay, up to equation number 6 I supposed to write. So what is that concept? This is the circuit. This is a circuit, already we are aware of that. This circuit, figure number 1 this is. Figure number 2 I will write. How to write the figure number 2? I will write E1 only. E2 I will remove. If I'm removing E2, just I have to write a wire like this. So I can write like this. Z1, Z2 impedances. Here Z3, third impedance. Here there is an EMF. That EMF is E1. Here I will not going to write any EMF. Here I will not write any EMF, just I will short this. Okay, in this case, you should not write I1 here. You should not write I1. Because if E2 is also there, then we have to write I1, I2 like that. Here I have removed the second EMF. We have removed the second EMF. E2 is removed. Only E1 is present. Only E1 is present in this circuit. For this circuit, I supposed to write the Kirchhoff's second law again. I had to apply the Kirchhoff's second law. Again, I supposed to apply the Kirchhoff's second law for this mesh and this mesh. Okay. If you want, I will write that also here. A, this is B, this is C, and this is D. This is F, and this is G. But if you want to write the current here, you should not write I1 here. You cannot write I2 here because one EMF is absent here. Here both the EMFs are present. Therefore, I supposed to write here like this. Whatever the current is flowing here, I will take it as I1 dash. Here it is I1, but here it is I1 dash. The currents, whatever it is flowing here, the current, whatever it is flowing here, I will consider that is here it is I2 because of E2, but E2 is absent here. I will write that one as I2 dash. I2 dash. Now again I have to apply the Kirchhoff's second law. Applying KVL, Kirchhoff's voltage law, for the mesh, which is the mesh A, B, C, D, A. Starts with A, end with A only. A, B, C, D, A. A, B, C, D, A, this mesh. I will apply the Kirchhoff's second law. How we are going to apply the Kirchhoff's second law here? Only E1 is present. Only E1 is present. E2, it has been removed. Alone. E1 alone it is present. In that situation here, E1 is equal to, here the current flowing, like this, the current flowing is how much? I1 dash. I1 dash into Z1. But here the current flowing, here, like this, the current flowing is I1 dash. Here it is I2 dash. Together it is present here. Along this direction, the current flowing is I1 dash. Here it is I2 dash. Together is I1 dash plus I2 dash multiplied by Z3. But along this direction, only one current. That is what is that? I2 dash. This is I2 dash multiplied by Z2. Together, let us write. That is equal to how much? Here, for this mesh only. For this mesh. I will not consider this. I can consider this. This arm, this particular wire or the mesh, whatever the content is present here now, whatever the element is present, this is applicable for this side also and this side also. Now, for the ABCDA mesh, if I'm applying the Kirchhoff's second law, I can write I1 dash into Z1, I1 dash into Z1. Here, I1 dash plus I2 dash, I1 dash plus I2 dash multiplied by Z3, Expand this. E1 is equal to I1 dash Z1, multiply this, I1 dash Z3, multiply again, I2 dash Z3. Okay, so here it is I1 and I1, you will get as a common factor. Therefore, E1 is equal to Z1 plus Z3, into I1 dash plus Z3 into I2 dash. I will take this one as equation number 3. Similarly, I have to apply the KVL for the mesh. Which is that BFGCB. For this mesh. Here there is no EMF. EMF is absent here. We have removed that. If the EMF is absent, I suppose to write 0. Is equal to what I had to write here? Carefully I had to write I2 dash into Z2, I2 dash into Z2. Here the current flowing is not only I2 dash, I1 dash plus I2 dash together. I1 dash plus I2 dash into Z3 is equal to how much? 0. So therefore I can write what I had to write, 0 is equal to, here the current flowing is I2 dash into Z2. I2 dash into Z2. Here the current flowing is I1 dash and I2 dash together. I1 dash, I2 dash together multiplied by Z3. Okay, therefore 0 is equal to I2 dash into Z2, multiply this, I1 dash Z3, I2 dash Z3. Here, I2 dash common factor it is available, I will take. 0 is equal to, I can write Z2 plus Z3, Z2 plus Z3 multiplied by I2 dash plus Z3 into I1 dash. I will take it as equation number 4. Okay, for this mesh. For this mesh, I got 2 more equations. Now I have to consider again the original one, whatever it has been present here. This one, both are present here. Next step, I have removed this one. This is only present, this is absent. Next time, third diagram I had to write, where E2 is present, E1 it has been removed. Same conditions. E1 I will remove and I will put E2. Third idea that is. Okay, what is that third concept? Number 3. Okay, I will take up that. See that. This is the original diagram. For that, I supposed to write like this. Z1, Z2. Here this is present. E2 is present. If you want, I will write E2 is present here. Present alone. Only this is present. E1 is removed. E1 it has been removed from the circuit. This is Z3. This it has been removed. It has been removed. E1 is present, is not present here. If you want, I will write this mesh. It has been given like this as usual. This is F and this is G as it is. Here the current flowing. Here the current flowing. Directions I have taken as it is. But here I have taken as I1. Here I have taken as I2. But here I cannot take I1 dash. I cannot take I1 dash because already I have taken I1 dash. Here I cannot consider I2 dash because already I have taken I2 dash. Shall I show that also? I1 dash, I2 dash already we have chosen. See that second diagram? First diagram, second diagram. Already I have chosen this. I cannot write I1. I cannot write I2. I cannot take I1 dash. I cannot take I2 dash here. Therefore, I will take here it is I1 double dash, I2 double dash. I1 double dash, I2 double dash. This is for the third one, number 3. So what will happen here? Okay, this particular. Okay, applying KVL for the mesh, which is the mesh AB, AB, CDA. For this mesh, ABCDA mesh. Similarly, we have to apply for this mesh also. Here there is no EMF. Here there is no EMF. EMF is absent here. Therefore, I suppose to write 0. Here the current flowing, I already shown the current direction. Current direction like this now, I1 double dash. I1 double dash into Z1. But here, like this, whatever the current flowing along this direction, whatever the current flowing is, I1 double dash plus I2 double dash. I1 double dash plus I2 double dash together multiplied by Z3. So what is that? I1 double dash into Z1. I1 double dash into Z1 plus, here it is I1 double dash, here it is I2 double dash. I1 double dash plus I2 double dash this current together, it is flowing through Z3, flowing through Z3. Therefore, 0 is equal to Z1 I1 double dash plus Z3 I1 double dash plus Z3 I2 double dash. Just multiply it. Here, I1 double dash is a common factor. Therefore, 0 is equal to Z1 plus Z3 into I1 double dash plus Z3 into I2 double dash. This is equation number 4 is over now. Equation number 4 is over, equation number 5. Now I have to write the same idea for this mesh, which is that mesh for the mesh BFGCB. BFGCB. Okay, here the current flowing here, it is I2 double dash into Z2. But here the current flowing is I1 double dash plus I2 double dash into Z3 is equal to how much here? E2. Because here there is an EMF is present, but in this segment E1 is absent. Therefore 0 it has been chosen. But in this segment, in this mesh, in this loop, I have to take E2. E2 is equal to how much? I2 double dash into Z2. 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 Okay. Plus here I2 double dash plus I1 double dash. I1 double dash plus I2 double dash multiplied by Z3. Here current flowing is I1 double dash, I2 double dash. That's all. Therefore, E2 is equal to multiply I2 double dash Z2, multiply this Z3 into I1 double dash, Z3 into I2 double dash. Here I2 double dash is the common factor. Therefore, E2 is equal to Z2 plus Z3 into I2 double dash plus Z3 into I1 double dash. This is equation number 6. Equation number 6. So we got equation number 6 now. Now we are supposed to take equation number 3 and equation number 5. You know that equation number 3 and equation number 5. I will show it. Equation number 3 and equation number 5. Both I supposed to consider and add it. I supposed to add those two. Which are those two? Equation 3 plus equation number 5 gives. Let us add these two equations. Equation number 3 and equation number 5. Equation number 3. Left hand side E1. Equation number 5. Where is it? I will show that. Equation number 5. Left hand side it is 0. Okay. E1 plus 0. E1 plus 0. Equation number 3. Here. Equation number 3. Z1 plus Z3 into I1 dash plus Z3 into I2 dash, that is the right hand side. Equation number 5. Z1 plus Z3 into I1 double dash, okay, plus Z1 plus Z3 into I1 double dash plus Z3 into I2 double dash, Z3 into I2 double dash. If you are adding those two, therefore E1 is equal to Therefore, E1 is equal to, here Z1 plus Z3 constant. I mean, it is available as the common factor. I will take it outside. Remaining thing here, it is I1 dash plus I1 double dash. Here Z3 is the common factor plus Z3 into I2 dash plus I2 double dash. See that this and this are the one and the same. I will take this one as equation number 7. Z1 plus Z3, Z1 plus Z3. I1 dash, I1 double dash. Z3, Z3. I2 dash, I2 double dash. Now I will going to take up equation number 4 plus equation number 6. Equation number 6 gives, let us add this one. Equation number 4 and equation number 6. Equation number 4. 0 is equal to, equation number 4 that I am writing, Z2 plus Z3. I am showing here both. Equation number 4. Z2 plus Z3 into I2 dash plus Z3 into I1 dash. Equation number 4. 0. Equation number 6. Equation number 6 is here. Plus E2 plus E2 plus here Z2 plus Z3 into I2 dash, I2 double dash plus Z3 into I1 double dash. Z3 into I1 double dash. Now, just you add up these two. You will be getting Z2 plus Z3, Z2 plus Z3 into I2 dash plus I2 double dash. Common factor plus Z3 common factor, I1 dash plus I1 double dash. I will take it as equation number 8. Just to compare equation number 1, equation number 2, and equation number 7 and equation number 8. Okay. By comparing, we got the answer already. By comparing equations 7 and 8 with equations 1 and 2. Consider 1 and 2. Somewhere else we are having equations 1 and 2. Okay, equations 1 and 2 is here. 7 and 8. 7 and 8 is here. Just to compare them. 1 and 2 is here. See that? One by one I will compare quickly. E1. 1 and, which is that? 1 and 7. 1 and 7. Equation 1 and 7. Equation 2 and 8 we had to compare. Compare these two. 1 and 7. Equation number 1 and equation number 7. Z1 plus Z3, Z1 plus Z3. Here it is E1, here it is E1. Therefore, I1 is equal to how much? I1 is equal to I1 dash plus I1 double dash. I1 dash plus I1 double dash. Z3 is present.